There's a lot of opportunity. It is a great store, and this is where you can debate. Is it a good store?
Larry Fink and the largest asset manager on earth, BlackRock, has started to sell their Bitcoin. BlackRock reports first outflows as Bitcoin ETFs shrink 20% since March. And it's not just BlackRock, it's also Fidelity, ARK, Bitwise, all of the Bitcoin ETFs in red this month. As of yesterday, the US Bitcoin ETF outflows saw 564 million to the negative. Today's panic selling dumped over 9,700 BTC onto the market. And this is not the time to panic, despite what your mom's favorite comedian continues to tell you.
Bitcoin is so stupid. Come on. It's all crashing. I mean, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's preposterous.
The truth is, the US spot Bitcoin ETFs still hold a lot of Bitcoin. BlackRock's on-chain holdings are still 50 steps forward, now just a few steps back. Fidelity, same thing, 50 steps forward, now just minimal steps back. But if you're invested in cryptocurrency, watch today's whole video, as we'll talk how much more selling of Bitcoin from these ETFs should we expect. Also Cardano news, XRP news, lower cap altcoin news, and much more. But starting with Bitcoin, even though the selling has escalated this month, we really started back in April. The spot Bitcoin ETFs in total saw 344 million net withdrawals in April as flow reversal continued. And this was a reversal. This was the first monthly net outflows since trading began in January. And while obviously led by Grayscale, they're in the red right here, they're always selling. It's what we started seeing from the rest. We saw Grayscale's fund exiting 2.5 billion, exiting the ETF over the last month. ARK Invest witnessed 86.3 million in monthly net outflows for April. Also Valkyrie, yet we were always held up by BlackRock.
You could say this is a great potential long-term store of value.
BlackRock had a 71-day inflow streak. Last month, BlackRock's IBIT continued to dominate net inflows into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, taking in 1.5 billion during April. This was massive. This was a run that put BlackRock in the top 10 ETFs of all time. Yet that came to an end on April 23rd, and the fund has seen 5 days of consecutive zero flows since. Now, how can a fund have zero inflows? Are the Bitcoin ETF numbers being manipulated? This was a question people were asking. How is it possible that there were zero inflows and outflows from BlackRock for 3 days straight? Actually, now 5 days. Is it possible that BlackRock isn't selling their holdings when their clients sell? And I guess it's no manipulation, it's just middlemen. The answer is authorized participants, of course. They act as a buffer within a limited volatility range. I appreciate that perspective. But either way, these zero inflows and outflows have stopped, and now it is just outflows. So BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF has had their first day of outflows, 37 million, yet has taken in $15 billion plus in Bitcoin year to date. For perspective, iShares Gold ETF has had $1 billion of outflows this year. Another gold ETF has also had $3 billion in outflows, and gold is up 16% year to date. This is what ETFs do. Inflows don't go up in a straight line. And just in, huge announcement, MicroStrategy unveils plans for a Bitcoin-based decentralized identity using ordinals.
We call MicroStrategy Orange.
Thank you, Michael. Michael presented a very compelling case for why we need decentralized identity and DIDs, decentralized identifiers.
So MicroStrategy has already built one application using its service. Orange for Outlook integrates digital signatures into emails to enable recipients to verify the identity of the sender.
He made an even more compelling case why it makes sense to anchor digital identity into the Bitcoin blockchain, protected by the strength and the security of the Bitcoin network.
What this means for you as a Bitcoin hodler, MicroStrategy just launched an enterprise platform for building decentralized apps on Bitcoin. This adds to the fundamental value.
And then he introduced a specification that we open sourced today. The first draft of the specification is available on the MicroStrategy GitHub today, for how you actually do that. How do you create a decentralized identifier anchored into Bitcoin?
And also, just in, US PayPal users can now purchase the following cryptocurrencies through MoonPay, meaning Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, Chainlink, SHIB, Doge, now can be bought through PayPal. And speaking of PayPal, the former PayPal president, David Marcus, says Bitcoin is going to be the native currency of AI.
No one in the world will accept any form of native digital value that's not maximally neutral, right? Because it's like, not like the Europeans are not going to accept an American version of a digital asset, or vice versa. And so, like, what is the most neutral form of digital native internet money? It's Bitcoin. And so if you make it super efficient, super fast, real time, at the speed of AI transactions, that's basically going to be the native currency of AI.
And this is very interesting. BlackRock has officially reached out to Hedera. This time, there's no misinterpretation. And this all stems from some people said it was fake news. BlackRock said it was fake news at the time, that BlackRock just tokenized one of their money market funds on Hedera. Actually, this was more through a third party, Archax. BlackRock made a comment saying, no, we have had no contact with HBAR. In this exclusive audio from the president of Hedera.
If BlackRock ever wanted to have the conversation with us to join the governing council and actually help us direct and govern the network in a really awesome way with the knowledge of financial services, I mean, obviously we'd be very open to that. But, I see Graham here too, and Graham could probably give you from an Archax standpoint how things really went. But actually, oddly enough, BlackRock has reached out since. They want to have conversations. They've been, really kind about the whole thing. And I can tell you a lot of...
This is an example of something the mainstream media won't share with you. I will. And again, watch today's whole video. We'll talk lower cap altcoins, but maybe it'll be Cardano that achieves full adoption from the AI and globally.
I do believe next year there's going to be a huge drive in cryptocurrency adoption. So there's going to be a lot of scalability demands on Cardano.
Here's what's next for Cardano.
Leos, I think, is going to give us dramatic increase in overall layer 1 performance. And then when complemented with rollups, which we're getting with Plutus V3, and thanks to projects like ZK Fold and Midnight and other things, and complemented with where Hydra is going and how rapidly Hydra is evolving, and also complemented with advancements to our programming model and partner chains, this house of things together will make us best in class for scalability. Now, I mentioned solve the blockchain trilemma. We still have 50% Byzantine resistance. It doesn't reduce to a third or a quarter with this protocol, which translates to much higher security than all the people who pursue these types of things. We still have our best-in-class decentralization, and with partner chains, it'll dramatically increase because there's more revenue coming in, so more people will want to be stake pool operators, so you'll have more operators overall inside the system.
In lower cap altcoin news, LayerZero takes a snapshot as airdrop draws closer. So of course, LayerZero is an interoperability protocol, and if you missed this airdrop, which I did, I don't hold any at the moment, they have indicated that there will be a series of airdrops if you still want to take advantage. But the reason I wanted to bring this news story to you is because snapshots typically act as a precursor to outflows because airdrop farmers often move liquidity to other projects, meaning potentially expect some sell pressure because the snapshot has already happened, so those airdrop farmers no longer need to hold the LayerZero, so they can transfer that into something else. Also, 2 more crypto projects offering airdrops. These are projects I'm invested in. Tomorrow, we will announce the finalized leaderboard of Xverse Alpha Tournament. This is an AI-powered first-person shooter game on Immutable, part of the Immutable ecosystem. And essentially, this is like the Call of Duty, only for Web3, and they're just having tournaments where over 60,000 plus matches were played, tons of people participating, and they will continue to do cool stuff like this all year. Just cool to see, for me, people actually participating in crypto gaming. And quick clip for Ripple.
The tribalism in this industry is insane. So there's Bitcoin maximalists, but everybody agrees, like, XRP sucks, and I don't really get it, right? I mean,
This is a 30-second clip of actually use case for Michael Arrington.
They're a legitimate company. They don't pretend to be something they're not, and they're really good at one thing: moving money fast and cheap. And it's fantastic. It fills a big need. And for a hedge fund like us to be able to denominate in Ripple and XRP, I just did the same thing, is really, really, really good. We did our first close. We moved north of $50 million into the company in Ripple, in XRP, in like 2 seconds, and it cost 30 cents. Now, that is amazing. There's no way to do that with fiat or Bitcoin. There's just no way to do it that fast and that cheaply, and so it serves a really useful need for us.
That is the video. My name's Austin. Like always, see you tomorrow.